Aquarius Collective. Oh, oh, Aquarius. I always get that in my head whenever I say Aquarius. I don't know why. Notorious. Let's see what's going on with your divine union. So I was listening to a mix and Changes by the Deftones came on, and I was really, feeling it. So you could be going through a big change right now. Now that could be something that could be by choice, that could be due to a tower moment. I was feeling really good about the change. I was feeling like, yeah, it's a throwback song, so I feel like it is a little bit like, maybe you're listening to music or doing things that you used to do in your prime, or whatever that means, Optimus Prime. Maybe you were like, grew up on Transformers and Ninja Turtles, and right, maybe you're kind of like an 80s, 90s kid, when there was actual culture, pop culture, and now it's just kind of like regurgitating. So it's a change, but it kind of feels like it's actually a return to self. I would check what's in your Mercury placement, because we just came out of Mercury retrograde, and I was feeling really good about this reading, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be good. And then I was getting my area set up, I put this up, and it was blowing all over the place because I still had my box fan on, and I was getting kind of unnecessarily annoyed with a piece of fabric when I could have just turned the fan off. But I was like, I was all anxious and heated and feeling like charged, and I wasn't even thinking about the little things. I wasn't thinking about the basics. I was just kind of like, why isn't this working? So this change is going to be, all changes are very challenging, whether you choose to do them or whether the universe puts them in your path, because it's something that you wanted, right? So it is something that you want. You want this change of scenery. I'm thinking of like wallpapers, and you could be changing not just your profile picture, right? I'm thinking of like MySpace, right? Even though there are profile pictures on everything, but it feels kind of like when you changed your MySpace profile picture and the theme and all of that, it was like you were a whole new person, So yeah, you could be tapping into a place where you felt a phase in your life, whether that is, you associate that with music, which Aquarius typically does, associate most things with music and the arts, but you guys are just on that trifecta frequency of being a water bearer, but an air sign and a fixed sign. So your earth, fixed is earth, and then you get your air and your water. So maybe because you are getting into the fire aspect, or maybe you have a cardinal sign in your Mercury, maybe you're dealing with a cardinal sign. It's almost like that cardinal fire energy is calling you to shift your space, to shift your did I already shuffle these? I think I already shuffled these. Whatever, we're gonna do it again. You might have to go back through the basics of things and maybe just stay in your fixed earth, your grounded energy, so that this process of change and transformation and move, maybe you're literally moving, but yeah, that makes me think of he's just not that into you. So if you're getting out of a relationship, or if you're finally disconnecting from a confusing energy, if it's confusing, the simplest answer is usually the right one. So it's like you could be talking to your friends about this connection, you could be stewing about it in your mind, you could be going over and over it in your mind. But the My Spate Drew Barrymore, I don't know what she is. Is she a Sagittarius? I'll have to check, but I was thinking that Sagittarius was the otter. Sagittarius is the owl in Native American zodiac, and you guys are the otter. So, owls they're nocturnal, they're very stoic, there's a wisdom about them, right? And Sagittarius is a fire sign, you could be dealing with one. But I find that people often confuse Aquarius and Sagittarius energetically. There's a lot of similarities there. But Sagittarius is very explorative. That's not a word. They like to explore. They like to, kind of get out of their comfort zone in a lot of ways, and always be challenging themselves. And Aquarius is also interested in a lot of things, but they're more like the introverted aspect of it. And so otters being very playful may not seem like the perception a lot of people have for you, right? And they're also in their water element, right? Which is like you getting into that vessel, you getting into that self-care of the vessel that you hold, the water bearer. You are the water bearer. So something about getting into your water, getting into your moon sign. Maybe you have Sagittarius in your moon sign. Maybe you have cardinal or fire in your moon sign. And so it's like there's sort of this conundrum with this change that you're going through to alter your frequency, but it's like it's a return to your actual frequency. It's like you're honing distractions, what other people thought you should be, what you have been conditioned into believing you are. It's like you're washing all of that away, because you're returning to self. You're returning to your vessel. You're returning to your grounded energy, your fixed energy. And your fixed energy is very disciplined. It stays the course. It has that determination, and it can seem very, stubborn is the term that a lot of fixed signs get, particularly Taurus. When Scorpio gets into their fixed energy, people are like, oh, they're so sassy and they're so fiery and sassy. It's like, no, that's fixed energy. When Leo is very proud, people, that's their fixed energy. People are like, oh, they're proud. They're in their proud energy. They're selfish. Now, in a lower vibration, they can be. Maybe you're dealing with a Leo. If not, you may just know that. But really, it's that their energy is calling them to be self-serving and tap into their fixed energy of staying the course of what they believe in. Now, when you are in your fixed energy, a lot of people consider you to be cold, right? And so maybe because you've been staying the course, you've been in your fixed energy, people are like, you're cold, you're shut off, you're the ice queen or king, right? Emotionally withholding, right? You may have gotten some of these things, but I don't think that you're emotionally withholding, or you have been out of a, like playing a game or anything like that, not in a manipulative way. I think that you just, in your queen or king of swords energy, you know what is right for you. And if not, maybe that is the change that you're going through, or that you need to go through, that's necessary for your divine elevation, right? So that you can be your own divine alchemist and you can call the shots in your own energy. But I think that you are essentially very playful, right? Maybe you like to dance or sing or make music and be very playful. And it's like you do want to dive into the water and play with friends and all of that, but you may have had to be independent. You may have been the eldest, or maybe an only child, or maybe just a lot of responsibility was put on you. You could have lost a sibling. That's very specific, but or maybe a sibling was special needs or something, like where you had to grow up and you had to kind of take charge, and maybe a parent left and you had to kind of take their place, right? You had to like be the mother or be the father of the house and of your other siblings, or unfortunately that responsibility may have been put on you by your parent, inadvertently, consciously, subconsciously, doesn't matter. It feels like you had a lot of pressure to be kind of grow up faster than you needed to. So it's like what you're longing for is to actually dive into water, into your emotions, into love. And you could be dealing with a water sign, and that could be very challenging to your air energy. You're very like stern and maybe direct energy. So there is a challenge with this. I mean, there's always a challenge with the divine union, but another thing, I spilt my coffee. When I was doing this thing, I like hit the coffee. I'm like, really? Why? Like, I'm in such a good mood right now. Like, why are you gonna fuck with me, universe? Why are you gonna fuck with me? And so this could be a tower, and you could be thinking like, why? Why is this happening to me? It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So you could be in a 5 of Cups energy and be sort of, feeling a little bit like the victim. Let's see what's in your moon energy first. I think I shuffled this deck twice, so there's something going in that you're not really seeing. Maybe you're taking for granted. You can't take anything for granted. The Labyrinth. Yeah, I feel like some throwbacks here. The Page of Swords and the King of Swords. So somebody is watching. This King of Swords could be watching. You could be the masculine, and you could be kind of sending somebody or like watching your person by proxy. Maybe to see how you need to. Maybe this person's very playful, right? We have the Lovers here. The Lovers is originally the dancers, right? We have the snake biting him, and he kind of looks worried, but this feminine energy feels very free, feels very light, feels very fun. And you could be, if you're the masculine, you could be really tapping into fire energy is like to really pursue. So air and fire are masculine. So if you're the masculine and you are trying to pursue a feminine, that could be the challenge for you. It's because you are, maybe you want to come in very like in a warm way. Maybe you want to use, I'm just going to go with it. I feel like I'm speaking with the masculine right now. So I feel like you are masculine but cold, and not cold because you're mean, but you're just direct, and you like what you like, you know what you know, that's your fixed energy. And it's like you know that this person is what you want, you know that this is your person. So you could have already, the feminine calls the masculine in from the 5D, and they see them in the third eye in their dreams. They feel them in their water energy, their feminine energy. And then the masculine is attracted to that on a frequency, energetic level, and then they meet them. And so the masculine usually sees the feminine in the 3D, in the physical, before the feminine does. So the feminine, you could have been also watching this feminine, and maybe you're worried that you're not going to be playful enough, that you're not going to be passionate enough. Like maybe you've always been told that you were very cold or distant or unloving, and I don't feel that you are those things. This devil here, this little demon, is like hanging on to the earth. So it's like you had to use substances, use the external, use attachments to distract you from the world that you knew, the world that you grew up in. Maybe you grew up in a very tumultuous upbringing. You just didn't have an opportunity to be playful, to be light, to be a childlike. And this person, it's like you know that this person is going to be able to help you tap into that. But there is some worry here. We're going to find out what the worry is. But feels like there's worry here with the snake, like almost like you don't know if maybe your attachments, your cycles, maybe people from your past, right? The devil could be like watching over your old world. Maybe you're coming into a whole new world. Maybe you've traveled, maybe you've moved away from your past, maybe you grew up in maybe you grew up in some specific, but yeah, maybe some kind of like gang activity. Or you were involved with the law somehow. Yeah, you could have just been, if your cup was not filled by your parents, right? Because children are completely dependent upon their parents to fill their cup. If you had a sort of inactive, is the word I'm getting, if you had an inactive parent, so I don't know that they were absent. You could have had one that was absent and then been raised by a single parent that was sort of inactive. And for a young masculine, that doesn't really show you how to be in your active, pursuing fire energy. And so, yeah, this feels like a whole new world. This feels like a whole new ball game for you to be in this energy, to pursue somebody, especially somebody that you feel is going to bring out this passion in you. And so you could have this little bit of, the snake is always eating its tail. You could be feeling like the cycle is going to come back, which is just a fear of not being enough, right? And we've got the moon. The moon is kind of like throwing shade. That's not throwing shade, it's actually casting light. But yeah, you could have a very tumultuous parent, maybe a parent who, didn't protect you, didn't guide you, didn't parent you. Okay, I feel like you had to parent yourself, and now it's like, which if that's the case, you're already halfway there, because shadow work is all about reparenting yourself. So I feel like you've already done that. You already know how to parent yourself. But I feel like you only know how to parent yourself in the 3D. You only know how to make the money, have the tangible stuff, protect yourself in the physical. Maybe you grew up, like maybe you got in a lot of fights growing up. Like you know how to parent yourself and how to be your own. Like I got me. I'm so fucking independent. But as far as letting a nurturing or feminine energy in, and if you're the feminine, you had to be in this very independent masculine energy. The challenge is going to be that you are going to be putting up that wall, and it's going to be more difficult for a masculine to pursue someone who is not open to being pursued, right? So the Empress is open to being pursued. The Empress energy is always open to being pursued, but she has the all four queens, right? So she's got balanced emotions. She's got balanced communication with the swords and the Queen of Swords. Like, she's willing to receive offers, but she's only going to accept what works for her. So the Queen of Swords is a very powerful energy. So we have the King of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is very powerful for masculine or feminine to get out what does not serve you, because you need to protect yourself. So it is that duality of the masculine element of air protecting the feminine Queen of Swords. You know, the Empress and the Emperor, all four of them. So I feel like I've only talked about so I feel like your money could be okay. Like, you could have enough for you, but maybe you're not sure if you're ready to split that with somebody, or that you're going to have enough to, you know, that it also represents stability and wellness. So you may also be questioning your stability the last time that you shared your fixed earth energy, right? Maybe you were open to something. You tried something different. It didn't turn out very well, and it knocked you on your ass. It shook. It bedrock. Bedrock. Is that the Flintstones? It's a song too. I can make your bed rock, right? Yeah, maybe you were in something that was very sexually heated, and you were in all fire energy, and so the challenge is going to be balance. And so we have the Two of Pentacles here to represent balance of Pentacles. That's your fixed energy. That's knowing what brings you stability, knowing what you like, knowing what you don't like, knowing what serves your wellness, what makes you feel secure and safe. You know, and in the dating world, particularly now, it seems like everyone's condoning being open, and that is like casual relationships, open, the lifestyle, trading, indecision. Well, fixed energy is very determined and disciplined in its decision. Fire and cardinal energy is the decision, right? That's the choice. Fixed energy is staying the course, and then discernment is the duality of air and water, mutable energy. The mutable modality is discernment of between masculine and feminine, air and water, when to stay, when to go, when to activate and when to rest. And so it's somebody is watching to make sure that they come in direct, but in a warm, loving way, making sure that they come in stable. Let me go ahead and clarify this. I feel like I'm not really getting a clear message on this King of Swords. Tell me about this King of Swords. There is no clear message for the King of Swords, I guess. Clear the fear. Okay. The King of Swords. Well, thanks. That's very helpful. The King of Swords, to clarify the King of Swords. So I feel like I'm speaking with the masculine. All right, the Page of Swords. Okay, so we have the Devil. There's that devil on your world there. See how this king is, oh, there it goes. Okay, I'm on to something, I get it. This King of Swords is looking the other way, right? They're kind of like half in, half out, and that's why they're in this Page of Swords energy. They're watching somebody, they're watching their feminine. This Page of Swords is also facing this King of Swords. right? So that can also be the feminine could be watching the masculine and be like, this person's cold, this person's not coming in, this person's staying in. What are they doing? They're half in, they're half out. All right. So and the reason they're half in, half out is because the devil, the Ten of Swords in reverse, that's the cycle, that's that snake. In the upright, it's the ending of this. In reverse, I feel like it's somebody who's stuck in their head. It's someone who's stuck in their mind, their thoughts, their swords, their communication. They could be stuck in communication with somebody from their past, whether that be energetically or physically. This person from their past that conditioned them, that didn't love them unconditionally, that didn't show them how to be playful, show them how to be, if they didn't have a father to lead them, if they didn't have to show them how to activate in their fire energy, if they didn't have a feminine in their life to, oh my gosh, it feels like there's like lumps and woozles up in my nose right now. I feel like there's like Dr. Seuss. I just saw I saw somebody drinking a Dr. Pepper, and I thought, wow, that's a really good marketing ploy. Like, we'll call this pop doctor, because everyone trusts a doctor, right? So maybe a parent was a doctor, maybe this person went to the doctor, maybe they were medicated, maybe they were, they went to a therapist, or they saw the guidance counselor. Maybe they're from the South, Alabama. Maybe they're from just a rough area, a rough, really chaotic childhood where it's like they had to get their shit together, and I feel like they're terrified to open up. If this is you or this is them, the masculine is the energy that I'm tapped into for this this challenge right here. So this is you're either cross-watching for your masculine, and feeling pretty frustrated about that. Like, love should be simple, right? This should be simple. Why is this being so difficult? Why is this, and I had the fan blowing, it's like the air, it's like, there's a lot of air, there's a lot of swords here, and it's just cycling, and no one's just like turning the fan off. No one's just turning this off. No one's stopping this cycle of overthinking, overanalyzing, and it's just fear-based with the devil here. We have the devil in this King of Swords, we have the devil clarifying the Page of Swords, somebody, and the Ten of Swords in reverse clarifying the Page of Swords. It's somebody is very stuck. There's a difference between being fixed and being stuck, right? You can be determined, you can be decisive, you can be, okay, I hear you, we'll agree to disagree, but I have my opinions, I know what works for me. Maybe open relationships work for other people. Maybe whatever you have going on is fine, but for me, I like someone who knows what they want and is decisive and yeah, I feel like there was a hot, very sexually passionate connection in this masculine's past. Maybe they were raised by a single mom who slept around, had a lot of Johns in the house. Maybe there's a John in the situation. Maybe John means something too. John Johnson, Dr. Long John. And he answers every call. Yeah, like booty call. Ace of Cups. This is that that water bearer, filling up your own cup, filling up your own vessel. So yeah, maybe that devil energy is, the masculine was very cold, very shut off emotionally because they had to be, they were conditioned that way. Maybe they grew up in a hypersexualized upbringing. And so they just sort of, their cycle was just casual connections, right? And they kept it that way. They kept it very much that way, because if they were to reveal anything else, it would throw them off balance, because they were never shown how to do that. They were never shown how to be a strong masculine. So maybe there's celibacy, maybe someone's practicing celibacy and they're afraid to get back into this. I've been referencing this movie for Sagittarius and Scorpio, but Thanks for Sharing, with Mark Ruffalo, Gwyneth Paltrow, and the guy, I kept wanting to look up his name. I almost looked for my phone. I'm filming on my phone. I don't know what I'm doing here. I keep wanting to look up his name, but the guy who plays the voice of Olaf, he plays in it. He's a snowman. You're the snowman. This masculine is the snowman, Iceman, right? And they're afraid to warm it up because they're gonna melt. They're afraid that if they melt, who sings that? Rascal Flatts, right? I melt every time you look at me that way. It never fails anytime you play. This hurting me is the coolest thing that I've ever felt, right? So yeah, someone could be very attached to their pain. This burn in me, he doesn't say this hurt in me. This burn in me is the coolest flame that I've ever felt. So yeah, maybe something in those lyrics, maybe again with that Alabama, maybe someone's very country, right? Maybe they with the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles to clarify the lovers, right? There's something with this. Pentacles are about worth, right? Yes, they can be about money. I mean, they are about money, pentacles, gold. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Does the snowman sing that in that the stop motion, claymation? Is it Rudolph the Red-Nosed, those old Christmas films? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of nostalgia here. So maybe this is somebody that you've known for a long time. Maybe this is somebody that makes you feel like you've known them a long time. This is your divine counterpart, so it's going to feel like your old friends. Three of Pentacles is like coming together in partnership with friends. But it also looks like a wedding here, right? Oh. This guy's standing up on the pew. What is he holding? Kind of reminds me of when you would try and eavesdrop on people and you put the cup, not that I ever did this, but you put the cup up to the door, you know, you try to eavesdrop, or even like the cups, the cup phones, right? With the little Dixie cups and or cans with the string, tree house. Yeah, there's a lot of like juvenile energy here. It's gonna be very playful, right? But man, this like fear, this like choking fear of I'm not gonna be enough. I don't think that the masculine's worried about having enough, because again, I feel like the masculine has that down pat. They know that they're like that much, they have security in, right? They have their own place, they have, you know, their bills are paid, whatever, like they feel very stable and intellectually, like they probably have a high IQ, but maybe their EQ, their emotional quotient is low, right? That's what they're insecure about, right? We have the Ace of Cups here is kind of like what the focus is. This person wants to bring in a cup. I don't think that they're worried with the Balance of Pentacles. I don't feel like they're worried about having enough money. and all of that. I think that they're just worried that they're not going to be able to have enough love to offer. So yeah, with this Two of Pentacles, we have the Page of Cups. Yeah, they could be younger, but I feel like they feel young at heart, which is a beautiful thing, right? When you're young at heart. Who sings that? Who sings that? Tell me, Aquarius. But I also feel like that makes them feel the most insecure. Like that's what they want, that's what they're longing for, that's what's going to bring them the ultimate balance of wellness and fulfillment. Is like I feel like this is clarifying. Don't do that. You know, this hand holding this cup is coming out of the clouds. This is a wish fulfillment. This is a dream. This is the person that they've dreamt about. Yeah, it could be a long time crush. And so if that's the case, the feminine might not even know that this is coming. But this, you know, this page really is what they want. They want to feel young. They want to feel free. They want that child, that inner child, to be fulfilled and to have someone to play with, right? With that fish there, Piscean energy. You're dealing with a Pisces. Four of Swords. Now we have the Four of Swords is balanced mind, you know, balanced thoughts. Yeah, I feel like this masculine's putting in a lot of work in preparation for this change, in preparation for this is that a lyric with the glass freezing? What happens when you freeze the glass? It shatters. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a slow moving energy. This is someone who's going to be slow and steady. That's that determined, fixed energy that is staying the course. Like, I don't feel like this masculine has any doubts that they are the person for their feminine, that they are the right person. Maybe they've witnessed this feminine with people who were just not good enough for them. So maybe the feminine is also, or maybe it's the feminine who was into lower vibrational, casual connections, and the masculine has watched this. The masculine has, it's like that movie, The Girl Next Door, right? Or what is it? She's Out of My League. You know, they're both prostitutes, right? They're both escorts, those girls. Or they're in porn, one's in porn. Tomato, tomato, right? It's like, the masculine could have been watching, and it's so interesting to me because it's like, the masculine's looking at, this Page of Swords is looking at the masculine. And I feel like it's the same person. So I feel like they're not showing their full face. They're not showing their cards. Page of Wands. Yeah, the masculine could have been waiting for the feminine. All right, now we're shifting into the feminine. The masculine could have been waiting for the feminine to stop giving herself away, right? We have the Page of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is lack of stability, lack of self-worth, and accepting Pages of Wands. They're just only concerned with one thing. Look what he's looking at. That's all he's concerned with. That's little dick energy, right? Fuckboy energy. All right, Queen of Cups. All right, there's that feminine, there's that cups. So yeah, there could be celibacy involved. The masculine could have been waiting on the feminine to come into this place of self-love, self-worth. Because the masculine's worth is in the 3D, the feminine's is in the 5D. We all have the same ingredients, different recipes, so we have a bit of both, right? Just the divine masculine, divine feminine have, you know, like a 70-30, right? It's not 50-50. It's like, and some people have 80-20, some people have 90-10, right? It's all your own recipe, and that's the fun. Isn't that the fun part of figuring out which recipe works for you? Because that puts you on the frequency of attracting someone else who is of that same equation, right? Now, it's when I say same, it's mirrored, right? So it's the equal and opposite. It's somebody who's fundamentally compatible with you. So when they say opposites attract, yes, opposites can attract, but it's also these fans, man. This fan is like slowly rotating. Anyway, and yeah, that could be. I've been getting this for a while now in the collective. The feminine is impatient, but it's also like the feminine is needs to come into this Ace of Cups, this Queen of Cups. They need, and see how hers is like that chastity belt. It's like a locked in goblet. And it's got these two guardians, you know, it's like, this is someone who's very balanced in their emotional fulfillment. And they're very closed off. So I do feel like somebody is nervous about opening up, right? Physically, emotionally, literally opening up to somebody new, because they've worked really hard at guarding their Ace of Cups. But it's like the chastity belt in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'm so happy, you know. So again, throwbacks, nostalgia. But I feel like this nostalgia, you could have known this person for a long time. Maybe you like grew up in the same hood. Maybe you grew up in the same neighborhood. They're going to be somebody from your past, or it's going to be somebody who makes you feel like the child you never were able to be, right? Like they see your inner child. You're going to see each other's inner child. The masculine's going to see past all of these trysts. They're going to see past all of this low self-worth, that phase, that past doesn't fucking matter. They've been waiting for you to just love yourself, wherever you are, right? Whether they are literally watching you with this Page of Swords, or they're energetically watching you. I feel like the masculine is very introspective here. The masculine has been doing a lot of self-work, a lot of shadow work. I feel like they're, with this double confirmation of King of Swords, like they are pretty locked into knowing what works for them and knowing what they're not willing to settle for. And that can be intimidating to the feminine. If you guys are in any sort of communication, or if the feminine is at all aware of the masculine in the 3D, it could be very intimidating. They could be wondering whether or not they are worthy of somebody who is so together like this, right? But just because they're together on the outside, just because they're very much in their masculine swords, they've got their 3D, they've got, you know, stability in that sense. I feel like this masculine has not a lot of stability in their cups. And now I don't think that they are emotionally unregulated, because I think that they're very logical and intellectual. But I do feel like they are not quite developed emotionally, experienced emotionally, right? They could have, the masculine could have fewer sexual partners, less relationship experience, because if they were unwilling to open up emotionally, right? Or if they witnessed that growing up, they might have said, it went the other way, like, no, I'm not gonna be like these lowlifes that did that to my mom, or I'm not gonna be like my dad who I saw disrespect women, right? If that's something that they witnessed. So the Knight of Wands. All right, so the Knight of Wands is somebody who has mastered their shadows, their parasites, right? When you're in a lot of casual relationships, you are exchanging your divine energy with people who are not deserving of it, because you feel you're not deserving of waiting for somebody who is deserving, right? It's a low self-worth thing. So this parasite that's been sort of feeding on that self-worth, it's like this Page of Wands has now turned into, or wait, is that both the Knights? No, that is the Page. This Page of Wands, this very emotionally unregulated, passionately unregulated, right, individual has regulated those things. They've learned how to transmute, and that's that sublimating is when you take a solid and it turns into a gas, right? Like dry ice, Halloween, theatrics, right? The like White Snake and the hair bands, right? And all of the like pyrotechnics and the lights and the smoke, you know, there's a very distinct smell to dry ice. It reminds me of the ride E.T. Is that at Universal Studios? Epcot? Well, it wouldn't be at Epcot. But it's like patchouli, something with patchouli, because patchouli really reminds me of that ride, and I rode it once so many years ago. So yeah, anyway, something with that, but sublimating skips the liquid process. It just goes straight from a solid to a gas. And so it's like somebody is not exchanging liquids, maybe. They are not going into that liquid state. They're going straight from, and that liquid to a gas is very much Aquarius energy, because it's going from a solid, which is like earth, to a gas, which is like air, right? So that's your fixed air energy. Somebody's conquering this, right? They're transmuting their past. They're transmuting all of the fears, the parasite that's you know, like trying to keep them from the world. They've been in hermit mode, and now they're coming out of it. This Page of Wands also could have been somebody who, with the celibacy, somebody who was like, it's just me, myself, and I, you know, a lot of like self-love, right? A lot of self-pleasure. And now it's like, okay, I'm ready to give this to somebody else. And then there's the Wheel of Fortune. All right, and this is that 10 that we were wanting with this 10 of Swords in reverse. This is that 10 of the real abundance coming in. This is bringing the ending. And see the Devil is like the maestro up here, or they're there's maybe some Capricorn energy as well. Maybe one of the parents was a Capricorn. But with the Devil playing with the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 2 fish there too for Pisces. You could have dealt with overeating, alcoholism, overconsumption of something because you did not receive, you and or your person did not receive unconditional love, right? Somebody did not speak your love language. So do you know your love language? Maybe look into that. I feel like this person has been evaluating that very thing. So if you resonate with that side of the story, yeah, the key to loving somebody else is knowing how to love yourself, right? So that you can show other people how. The best way to lead and to teach is to, lead by example. Live in the truth. And so if you are loving yourself in your love language, if your love language is words of affirmation, then guess what? You need to get skilled at words of affirmation, accepting compliments, right? If it's physical touch, self-pleasure, right? Maybe not using porn, using your imagination, tapping into your five senses, setting the mood, making it a tantric experience, right? Because the divine union is a tantric weave. So working on your tantric celibacy, true celibacy, it doesn't typically involve self-pleasure. So if you have been practicing true celibacy and you haven't been, maybe you avoided that because that was an issue for you, that was an imbalanced devil energy for you, you couldn't connect intimately with somebody, and so you maybe had a porn addiction. That was both of the characters that the Olaf voice actor plays in the movies that I reference in the Sagittarius and the Scorpio reading were love and other drugs, and thanks for sharing, which both of them, he had a porn addiction and he had a sexual addiction, and the one, but so yeah, maybe if that's something that you were working through, you could be like, okay, now I feel healed and I'm ready to be intimate with somebody. All right, the Knight of Wands can typically be somebody, it's often read as being someone who is flighty, in and out, not really, maybe just coming to give you something with that parasite, with that virus, right? Maybe they're just somebody who is like throwing it around. So yeah, there could be some kind of like STI there. But, that's specific. It's not going to be for everybody. Hopefully, STIs are not for everybody. Although in the dating scene, it's a rough world out there. So it's a lot more common than we like to believe. Could be dealing with a Virgo. I'm feeling quite, or with that Pisces, mutable signs are very much with Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo. We also have the Lovers there for Gemini. They can be quite anal about things being right, particularly Virgos and Pisces. Things need to be perfect before getting into that, before making a choice. But yeah, I feel like the time for overindulgence, the time for self-deprecating, if your love language is, that's what I was talking about. I'm going to get back into that because I think that that's important for somebody to hear. If your love language is, what do we do? Words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time. Obviously, that's, take yourself on dates, right? Go have little day dates, go watch a movie, go eat by yourself, go walk a park by yourself. You know, carry a weapon if you're a single female, or a single male, you know. But, you know, take yourself on dates, spend time with yourself, have a Netflix and chill day with just you, maybe your dogs, right? Mine are starting to get stir crazy, I can hear them. You know, spend quality time with yourself, because if your love language is quality time and that was never given to you, and you get with somebody else, you're going to misinterpret any time that you are apart as being abandonment, as being neglect, as being, you know, it's going to trigger things from your past. It's going to trigger that low self-worth, right? They don't want to be with me. But quality time is not about quantity. It's about undivided attention. And so if you're not giving that to yourself, you can't expect somebody else to give that to you. What else? They're gift giving, right? You have this balance of your finances. Go treat yourself, right? Get yourself a nice something, right? What's a gift? What's your favorite gift that you ever received growing up, right? Or what's a gift that you really wanted when you were young, right? Maybe you always wanted a Slinky or something and you never got it. If it's within your financial means, get it now, right? Get something simple that's going to bring you a lot of joy, instead of spending that money on food or booze or porn. I know there's a bunch of free stuff, but or spending it on casual dates, because casually dating is not cheap, right? Especially for the masculine. Well, who knows with the world that we're in right now, but you know, I'm a traditionalist, so it's expensive either way. And it's expensive for females too, right? You know, it takes a lot of money to, you know, hair, makeup, clothes, whatever. Not for me. So just put that into yourself. I'm struggling with the rest of these. Did I get 4? Words, physical touch, gift giving, quality time, and maybe that's yours, and that's why I'm having a hard time with it. Physical touch, words, time, gifts, one second. Acts of service. I have the book, so I had to look. Take a look in a book. Reading Rainbow. All these throwbacks. So yeah. So yeah. I don't know why I sound like a fucking ballet girl there. If acts of service is yours, now this one is can be kind of challenging, you know, but it also goes with the self-love, right, which would also feed into physical touch, right? So but you can give yourself a massage, you can do a pedicure, right? You can do something that you would normally pay somebody else for, or maybe you would want your partner to rub your feet, right? If you do a little pedicure, maybe you buy a fun polish, or you buy some essential oils, or like a nice mask, or things like that, and you give yourself a kind of like spa day, right? Maybe you don't paint your nails, and you just find like a nice oil or like moisturizer, right? And you put it on your feet. Do not underplay a good foot massage, okay? Reflexology is real, people. So it's a very simple acts of service, but like and it can also be like gift giving and acts of service if you have the funds and there's something that you need done, right? You have like a honey-do list, but no honey to do it. Maybe that's how you can like spoil yourself, is you just give yourself the gift of time. And instead of going out and buying something that you may or may not use, or paying for an experience that you may or may not enjoy, pay a plumber, pay an electrician, right? Pay somebody to come help you do something that you are not skilled at. And you can, in that way, get an acts of service, give yourself the gift of time, quality time, and it's gift giving, right? Because it is money out, and that's really what it is, like the shopping therapy, or all right. So yeah, with the 5 love languages, because I feel like with this 5 of Pentacles, that's how you can tap into your own self-worth, is by filling each one of those, bringing stability to each one of your 5 love languages, your 5 senses. Do things and buy yourself things, and say things. Make sure that the environment accesses all 5 of your senses, right? Make sure the smell is right, the temperature of the room is right, the clothes, the textiles, on your bed, on your body. Make sure that it's very soothing to the senses, also because smells really activate nostalgia. Smells really activate memories. They're so tied in. And so if you really create a sensory cocoon while you are doing affirmations, while you're giving yourself a pedicure, while you're having this Netflix and chill, after you've paid the plumber or whatever it is, then you have this space that's quality time where you're really satisfying and indulging the senses in a way that's holistic and healing and comforting, but it's not going to be deprecating, right? It's not going to depreciate this work that you've put in to this balance that you've achieved. It's going to, and it's also going to really link you into that memory of what it feels like to be nurtured, to be loved, to be, to have one of your, or all of your 5 senses, all of your 5 love languages spoken and provided, right? Where maybe you didn't have that provided, you can provide it for yourself. And then anytime that you smell that smell, or hear a sound, certain song, that certain movie, right? That's how you can link yourself into that memory and build new memories, build new traditions, right? With the senses and all of that talk and the pentacles, I'm just really tapping into Taurian energy here. They're all about the comforts of home life and creating a very pleasurable sensory, Venetian, that Empress-like cocoon, because they are the Empress. They're ruled by Venus. They're an Earth sign, and they're all about the 5 senses and pleasures, and comforts, textiles, and indulging, right? Indulgences. But when you tap into the 5 senses, then you can open it to the 6th sense, right? That's how we stay attuned to that frequency of divine love. Where was it? Where did you come from? Where did you go? I had, the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. I don't like that 7 of Swords, but maybe this is, because see, there's 2 swords, that's a decision. Somebody's not cutting something out. They're not releasing a sword here, which is leaving them in the 5 of Swords. So lots of 5s, that's that being blocked, being stuck in a cycle. of not ending, the best way to do that is to round things up, round a 5 to a 10, right? Bring it to an end, bring it to fulfillment, and couple it with, the best way to break a habit is to, replace it with a new habit. So the best way to, stay sober, to stay determined, to stay in that fixed energy, to break out of an old cycle is to create a new cycle. So with that 7, I feel like somebody is holding on to an old cycle and they're just stuck in this decision. They're like, taking their time. With the 6 of Cups, there's a little bit of irritation there, because I do feel like this individual has been waiting. I feel like the feminine is maybe waiting on the masculine. The masculine could be waiting on the feminine. Take it how you take it. Somebody is waiting on somebody, and it's becoming it's like, okay, this has been long enough. Like, I've been waiting since I was a little kid for this. I've seen you, I've felt you, I've smelt you. Whether I know you or talk to you in the 3D is irrelevant. You two are so connected. It's like somebody has to make a move here. Somebody has to cut this shit out, and activate. Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. That's masculine energy. The masculine needs to come pursue the feminine. So, if somebody is waiting for something to be perfect, for something to be right, the Wheel of Fortune is all about divine timing, okay? So do not let this little stupid ass demon, this little devil energy orchestrate your fortune. This is the 10 of Pentacles, all right? This is the abundance, 10 of Cups, right? It's all the abundance in the feminine, right? Pentacles and Cups is feminine. When you have 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, that's needing to bring an ending to something that is tumultuous. When you have the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, that's the abundance, that's the goal, right? So somebody has to tap into their feminine energy, their nurturing energy. Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, again, feminine energy. Tap into the Ace of Cups. The Ace. This is new, right? This is new, which means it starts with the self. All right. And what is 10? 10 is a 1. These are 1s. This is 11. 4 of Swords. 4 of, I feel like, Wands energy. 4 of Wands. We have the Tower in the World. I kept wanting to call the Wheel of Fortune the World because we have that stupid fuck again on your world there, that fear, that Capricorn, devil energy, Saturn, the root chakra, not releasing, not eliminating. All right, use your swords to cut that shit out. Cut it out, right? The world, a whole new world. Aladdin. And taking a leap of faith. This is the Fool energy. That is your energy, right? The Star as well. The Star comes after the Tower, or the Star comes after the Devil. Either way, this Tower and this Devil are linked. All right. Which is Scorpionic energy, Aries energy. It's Mars. Maybe check your Mars placement. Check your Pluto placement. Say that 5 times fast. And we have confirmation again. Page of Wands and Knight of Wands. You could be dealing with the fire sign. You could be dealing with the Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. I don't have a lot of Leo here, but Aries and Sagittarius with the Tower. Maybe you got an Aries parent. Maybe your fire parent was not present. Either way, I feel like it's just confirmation after confirmation that the Page of Wands is moving forward. It's the masculine energy pursuing. Wands pursues. Okay? Wands is active. Wands are active. Yeah. it's taking a while. Ace of Wands. We have all new stuff. Hanged Man, Seven of Wands. There is this reluctancy, this little bit of fear. I feel like the feminine is sort of feeling surrounded by options, but they only want their masculine. Right? The Empress only accepts the Emperor, and the Emperor only pursues the Empress. All right. The longer I get into this, the more hoarding, withholding, and all right. So fixed signs do not like to be rushed. All right. Nobody likes to be rushed, but fixed signs particularly. So if you're the feminine, make sure that you're just going back to basics. Basics are all about you going in, doing that shadow work, and continuing to discover why you maybe are energetically rushing the masculine. You want the masculine to come in correct, okay? And they know that they need to come in correct. They're not going to pursue you until you are an Empress. And if you're rushing them, you're not an Empress. You're still in a little bit of Page. It could be a long time, and so maybe you're feeling a little frisky, all right? If you're cross-watching, maybe you're the fire sign feminine, okay? We have the Hierophant. There's that Taurus, the balancing of the 5D and the 3D, staying tapped into the basics of being the student of Source, being the student of yourself. That Page of Swords, that's why this Page of Swords is looking at this King of Swords, because you need to just look at yourself. You need to just focus on yourself. Because the more information that I'm trying to get about the other, the more cards that I pull, the more like aggravated the energy becomes, the more heated it becomes, the more withholding and anxiety ridden that it becomes, right? So if you're not trusting in divine timing, and that could be, where is that Wheel of Fortune? Where are you now? Now that I need you. Tears on my pillow, wherever you go. If you're letting the devil orchestrate your timing, then it's demonic, okay? It's not divine timing. Even if this is your twin flame, even if you believe, like, this is my person, if you rush them energetically or by, constantly dropping hints, maybe you're directly messaging them, maybe you're, but if you're looking at anybody else but yourself, if you're trying to do work on somebody else's frequency, that's black magic, that's manipulation, that's a false magician. And the divine union is only, they are all twin flames, but not all twin flames come to divine union, because a lot of people get excited by the twin flame by karmics, and then they rush it, they try to force it. And they become too conditional with when it needs to come in, how it needs to come in, instead of being the fool, releasing yourself, allowing yourself to, the Chariot and the High Priestess. It gets into a runner-chaser energy, which is like the Hollywood twin flame. Everyone's like, oh, that's so exciting. It's not exciting. It's not fucking exciting. It's toxic. It's low vibrational. If that's what you're looking for, well, you'll probably find it everywhere, because they're the runner-chaser, conditional, casual connections are everywhere. They're very easy. That's why they're everywhere. If you want this divine union, if you want this Emperor-Empress connection, then the masculine has to pursue. You have to follow your heart with the Chariot, the High Priestess. See how this High Priestess is crossing her heart? If somebody is still guarded, if somebody is still unsure about what they have to offer, then they need to go in, do some work, Eight of Pentacles, until they are the King of Pentacles. Because the Empress is not going to accept a masculine that is not the Emperor. The Hanged Man, again, a lot of Pisces energy here. We have the Hanged Man twice, High Priestess, and some Taurus as well with the Hierophant and the High Priestess that's the masculine and feminine, right? It's the High Priest and the High Priestess, right? Masculine and feminine of the spiritual leaders. But to be a spiritual leader, you need to be a student. To be a teacher, you need to be a student. So you always need to be a student of self. That's yoga, the essence of yoga, right? Not the asanas, not going and doing all the booty yoga, hot yoga, like that's all great and everything, but yoga of the heart, yoga of the soul, the spirit, is about having that conversation with yourself. What are my five senses telling me? Going back to the basics, right? Going to the root, that Saturn, that devil energy. What do I need to release? You know, we have death here, Scorpionic energy, Plutonian energy. You're far away from the sun right now. Somebody, one or both of you are far away from the sun. And the more that you chase, the more that you're going to keep your person in a runner energy. And this is energy. This isn't a physical person. You're not going to, because if you're not on the frequency of attracting, if you're on the frequency of chasing, you're only going to be attracting runners, right? You're not going to attract your divine counterpart. I don't care what these twin flame, you know, people talk about. You're not going to attract your person, right? And to say, oh, I liked this person, they were hot, we had good sexual chemistry, or whatever. If you're isolating a single person, or they're in another relationship, it's like, well, then that's not your person. And if you're trying to manipulate that individual of the 3D to be your 5D twin flame connection, you're working you're dabbling in some dark arts, my friend. Yeah. So this is the longest one yet. This is gonna take 2 days to upload probably. Yeah, there's an ending here. A lot of information here, but I feel like there's something in here for somebody. And bottom line, if you are confused by a connection, that is not your person. If you have to make a pros and cons list, that's the only con you need to know. Don't con yourself into staying attached to somebody or something that isn't serving you, because you signed up for a divine union. So if you're not on the path, if you're getting off the path, if you're doing dark magic, if you're impatient, if you're not asking yourself the tough questions, if you're not ascending, which is a process of descension into the self, then the universe is going to send this tower, right? I watched you change into a fly. That's death, right? A death needs to happen here. An ending needs to happen here. I keep wanting to just like pull. I feel like I want to give something, but there's Judgment, Four of Pentacles twice. There's a need to just conserve your resources and work on the self. Long story short, isn't that the way it always is? So it's not time yet. Somebody's still watching. If you're the feminine, wait to be pursued, and don't wait with one eye open, right? Because then you're in the runner chaser. If somebody's leaving you confused in this moon energy, in this chaotic fucking energy, then that's not your person. The divine union is not confusing. It's simple. It's basic. It's not easy because it takes faith. And faith is a very difficult thing to trust in the unseen. It's the ultimate test. It's the fool. right? If you want an emperor, you want an empress, you gotta be a fool. I hope there was something in here for you. I'm gonna do like quick check-in readings for all the signs. I have, I think, 2 more, maybe 3 more divine union readings to do, and then I'll be doing the quick check-in. So we will see what's next in love for you next time. Until then, I wish you well.